Greetings, Inquisitor. Welcome to the Holocron. This is week 1 of the Rise of Obticeo. I started this account in January. We're going to record the account's progress every week, and y'all can follow along as I build this account with the intention of quickly rising through the new Grand Arena system. We added the Hyperdrive bundle, and after 1 week of play, we're at 843,000 galactic power. Actually, I add a few more pieces of gear during the Holocron, and we end up at 855. So 855,000 after the first week. No relics, but we did manage to scrape together 1 ZETA, and we put that onto Mon Mothma. We're using her in the squad arena. We got all the way up to 72 after a week. And in fleet arena, we were able to get 13th place with this little fleet of Home 1, Silencer, 5s, and Bigs. And I've been challenged by some of my crew over on the Discord channel to make it to my first relic at week 5. So that's going to be the first target. Kylo Ren Unmasked will be the target for my first relic. And we'll try to get him to gear 13 by week 5. It seems very aggressive for a brand new Hyperdrive account, but I'm up for the challenge. And let's go. Let's see if we can do it. All right. Just to talk about the farming plan, because in this update, because we're just at the very start of this account, I really can't wait until the end of the week to do the upgrades like I do on the Loquitur updates. We'll get to that point, but right now, every upgrade that I can get day by day is important to try to keep progress going in fleets and other areas of the game. So we're going to do a little bit of a gameplay video. And I'm going to show you farming this energy plan. So the whole thing is laid out for the 8 hard nodes in the plan that I published yesterday. So if you haven't seen that Holocron, go take a look. And you can see the whole plan for this account. And this is the first week of working that plan. But we have 8 hard nodes with regular energy, 4 characters and 4 ships. So we're pretty much not farming any gear. We're just farming shards. In fleet energy, we're going to get Anakin's ship and gear 13 pieces. I don't know if we'll be able to get to that Grief Karga node this week. It's in the middle of the hard nodes on Sector 4, so it may be a little while before we can unlock that. But we do plan to use some fleet energy there as well when we get to it. In the Cantina, we're going to farm Kylo Ren Unmasked all the way until his Silencer is 7 stars. So we'll get a lot of overflow shards from Kylo himself. And we'll feed that shard shop and again target that week 5 relic. For mods, we're going to farm a combination of speed, defense, and tenacity. I like to use tenacity mods on my Mon Mothma team, so I'm going to be farming a bunch of those up front along with some speed and defense just to try to get some mods into the account. Of course, you start with 0 after the Hyperdrive bundle, so you get all these characters and absolutely no mods to work with. It's very interesting. In terms of refreshes, we got those crystals from the Hyperdrive bundle, so we're going to be using 3 refreshes a day on everything. And as long as we can continue to get good fleet placement, then I expect that it'll be quite some time before we have to start micromanaging the crystals on the refreshes. Those Cantina refreshes are so critical early on. We want to make sure that we keep getting 3 Cantina refreshes, get crew farmed up, and then start in on the signal data and other stuff that we need out of the Cantina. That also generates a lot of Cantina currency because we have 5s to buy out of that store. We've got Ahsoka to buy. We want Qui-Gon Jinn out of there. Once we get all 3 of those characters to 7 stars, then potentially there's some other characters that we may farm out of the Cantina store. So getting that up and running quickly is pretty important. For the guild store, I'm going to save up, get 2,500 in the bank, and then when I see Carbontes, I'm going to be buying Carbontes out of the guild store. We'll also be looking for Stark and for clones. I think both Rex and Echo show up over there, so we'll be able to pick up some clone shards when they show up, some gear when it shows up. We're not in a rush for any of that stuff. We will want Stark and the clones later, but we're not in a hurry to get them to 7 stars. So we can be smart about it and use that to supplement our gear push. Carbontes will be the gear that we're out of the most in this early phase. So that's what we'll wait for and watch for out of the guild store. Squad, we will take Akbar to 7 stars, then Mace, then Tarkin, all 3 of the fleet admirals. And we don't really have big plans for Tarkin, but maybe we need a third fleet at some point. And it's nice to have the Admiral at 7 stars and have some effort, at least a little bit, put into the ship in case we need a cleanup fleet in Grand Arena, for example. After that, we'll go for Newt, and then we'll see what we're going to do with the squad currency after that. In the Galactic War Store, we are going to focus on Biggs and his X-Wing early on. I started out buying the Geo ships, and I unlocked Poggle. But I just unlocked Poggle, and I'm going to leave him there. I'll work on his gear. We can always circle back later and finish out his stars when we need to. He's not a pilot. He's not as critical to get going as the other Geos. So we're actually going to focus that Biggs and Biggs's X-Wing first before we start sinking all in on the Geo fleet. In the fleet currency store, we're going to look for Grievous. As I've recommended in other videos, we're going to save up a bank of fleet currency, and we got to make sure that every time Grievous or the Umbran Starfighter shows up in that shop that we can go ahead and grab those. Now, we could farm the Umbran out of the fleet energy, but I really don't want to do that. I'll build it more slowly out of the shop because we really need all of that fleet energy if we're going to start relicking characters early on. There's really a lot of materials we have to farm over there, so we'll look for the Umbran out of the shop. And then once we get over 2,500, then if Sunfac's in the shop, we'll buy him. And then as a third priority, if there's no Sunfac, we can start picking up some of the other Geos. And again, if we can build Soldier and Spy out of that store instead of having to farm them with Cantina energy, that saves more Cantina energy for signal data and other things that we need. So we'll have to figure that out week to week as we go and see what the right balance is there, if we can buy them or if we should farm them out of Cantina. In the Guild Event store, of course, the Guild Event tokens too are only going to go for Malevolence until we get that ship going. The Guild Event 1 tokens, we have to save that. We're going to go for gas relatively early in the journey, so until we get up to 70,000, we'll just sit on that currency and save it. And in the shard shop, we're going to feed some crew shards at first. We're not going to have a very good income in the shard shop just because we don't have very many 7-star characters. So it'll take a while to get that going, but we will have some early push over there because the character's double drops, the ship is single drops, so we'll have to over farm that node and get some shards over in the shard shop. So that's nice. All right. So with that, we're going to go into the gameplay for the week. We're going to talk through that. So first off, we're working on this Kylo Ren Unmasked. He's the top priority out of all the stuff in the account. That's what we're working on. So here we're going to go into Cantina battles, and we're just going to farm till we're done spending. We've got 3 refreshes to do. So here we go. Let's just refresh this up. Get as many of these Kylo shards as we can. Get that TIE silencer up and running. And this is a ship that'll be good for us, even if it doesn't, you know, have the finalizer or a first order fleet to be in. We can plug and play just about anywhere. So we got 38 out of 100, growing him towards 7 stars already. And the ship's coming along as well. We can upgrade him to gear 11. And then we're going to go ahead and lock in all of these pieces on gear 11. We know that we're going to take him to gear 12. We know he's our first relic target, so there's no reason not to go ahead and lock in some gear here. So 5 out of the 6 pieces are good. We just got to get that 6th one farmed up and get his 7th star finished. And I think we need both a Carbonite and a stun cuff to finish that off. So, yeah, I think it's a Carbonite and a stun cuff that we need. So we'll get that out of the challenges over the course of the week. And by week 2, we should be able to get him to gear 12. Mon Mothma is a high priority for us to level up as well. But unfortunately, it's she's on even at gear 8, she already needs 2 stun guns. All right, here we're farming the Range Trooper. Again, a few farms on him. We've got 12 out of 30 shards after a week. He's also in a calendar, so we were able to unlock him for free off the calendar. So we'll be getting some of his shards, which is nice. Here we've got Piet, and we're also getting the Resistance Hero Poe off of that, so that's nice. I use IG-86 to target the farm here for the Vulture Droid. It's on the same node, so I can just farm the Vulture Droid by clicking on a character. Makes things easy. So we'll go ahead and farm that. We get a shard. Progress is slow, but we'll go. In my guides, I often recommend that we force farm the Vulture Droid. And if we get to a point where we can let go of one of these farms that we're doing, we may force farm him. But targeting, 8 hard farms up front, we really can't afford to force farm the Vulture Droid. And we're doing another little fleet up front with Biggs and Silencer and 5s, Umbra and Starfighter. So it'll buy us a little bit more time to get that all in place, to get the Vulture Droid up and running where we want it. All right, here's Queel and the Imperial TIE Bomber. Then we're going to farm Wrecker and the BTL-B Y-Wing. And then I think at this point we're out of the 50 energy refreshes, so we're done. Now in the morning when I come back, I'll have my free energy, and I'll be able to farm that node and a couple farms on the Django node. We'll slowly build up Django Fett, and of course the Hound's Tooth comes off of that node, so really what we're looking for is the Hound's Tooth. When we get close to unlocking that, then we'll start farming Bosk. Again, with 8 farms already identified, it'll be a balancing act, and we'll have to figure out how to get Bosk going. I need these materials. This is one of the things that we'll need for that Kylo relic. We also farmed up a bunch of these fusion furnaces. After 1 week, we've already got 50 of the fusion furnaces farmed up. But again, we're only doing 1 hard node in fleet, and the rest of the energy is going into these materials. This is node 3C. If you are ever in a position where you don't know where to spend your fleet energy, spend it right there on 3C. It gets those hollow lenses plus the Mark 6 syringes, so it's just a very effective node in the early game. On Galactic War, we're on sim mode on that already, so we can sim it. That's really incredible. Mod-wise, we have unlocked defense, we've unlocked tenacity, we've unlocked speed to farm, so no problems there. The refreshes that you do on mods, obviously you want to get as many mods as you can and get your mod strategy going and working. You also get ability materials out of here. So this is an incredibly good source of early ability materials, especially those purple materials. And early in the game, especially, you hyperdrive, or even if you build your account free to play, those things are going to be permanently in demand. So farming your mods is a way to get more of those. So more reasons to farm your mods. And of course, we completed all the challenges. So the daily quests, we got all done. We'll take a spin through the shop here and go through what we talked about with the different shop currencies. I'll show you what I've bought, how far I've gotten so far. And it's really, because you get a bunch of these currencies along with the hyperdrive bundle, you can really buy quite a few things in the first few days and go a little bit crazy. So we very quickly, for example, got 5s to 5 stars. We have Admiral Akbar at 5 stars. So that went very quickly and very well. So we got Qui-Gon to buy now. We've got Ahsoka to buy. You could see Ahsoka's our second target, so we're purchasing Ahsoka Shards. In the guild store here, we're looking for these Carbonates, and there they are. There's also, character shards down here. Here you see Echo in the shop and Stark. But in the end, we can wait for these or we can buy them. Here I'm going to buy some Echo Shards. And then we take a look at these Carbonates up here. They're going to be in short supply, so we're going to go ahead and pick those up. And we'll save the rest of our currency for the next refresh on the shop. We're done with Akbar. We're on our last purchase for Mace Windu, so we're close to having him to the 7 stars as well. Here we're going to buy Biggs Darklighter. We bought a couple of the Geo ships. Then over here in Fleet, we already bought this Umbran Starfighter out of here, and we bought some Sunfac. We have 1,200 in the bank. We can't spend any more than that because we're waiting for Grievous to show up. If Grievous were to show up, we always want to have enough currency to buy that. So even though there's more stuff in the shop that we want, we can't buy it. We got to keep some in the bank. We're generating this Grand Arena currency already, which is fantastic. So we've got that going. And typically for this Grand Arena currency, I buy these computers and almost exclusively buy those computers so that I don't ever have to farm them. So here you can see same thing. I'm buying them out of the shop, even right away, you know, first thing. It's amazing to buy the Hyperdrive bundle, immediately go into Grand Arena, already have some of that currency. It's it's really shocking to me how much of the game you can play and how well as soon as you click that Hyperdrive button. It's really impressive. So if we take a look over here in Squad Arena, at the time I was 99, and we're looking for a battle to fight. Now this team that we're fighting is 80,000. It's not very good synergy. It's Mace Windu in the lead. You got Darth Vader in there at gear 12. So it's not great synergy, but they're double our GP. We're 39,000. They're over 80,000. So they're double our galactic power. And you can see now how the synergy for this Mon Mothma team, we got all kinds of debuffs, but every time we go, Mon Mothma's removing debuffs from more and more people. So it makes it hard for this Vader team to, you know, do what it wants to do. We've got Chupio here. He doesn't get all the assists when he takes his turn, so it's a little break in the action for the Rebel team. But you can see, even though he's only 2 stars and terrible gear, he's doing plenty of damage. He's doing his part. And he's got good skills. The skill that removes buffs and gives them blind is pretty fantastic. And here we'll do a basic, just trying to get some damage down. Switch it over to Vader. We're going to work on Vader now. And we're basically using this Hoth Rebel Scout, and we're trying to get a lot of basics off of him, hoping for some lucky rolls on getting the 25% turn meter for all of our team. And remember, Mon Mothma also has a revive, which early in the game is incredibly powerful, because even if they kill one of our guys, we just bring them right back. I don't have the skill high enough on Chupio yet, but at some point, Chupio has a skill that if another rebel is revived, he is also revived. So once we get that skill on him, then even further, if they kill Chupio and one of our rebel fighters, we can resurrect that rebel fighter with Mon Mothma, and Chupio will come back for us too. So, I mean, in the end game, your Chupio is going to be dedicated to your CLS team, but early game like this, just sticking him into this Mon Mothma team is really makes it a good team. And here, these characters really have rudimentary mods. I mean, I don't think most of these characters even have 2 full mod sets on them. A lot of the mods are at level 6. They're mods that didn't work. I put 6 levels on them and just put them on a character, because normally I want to sell those mods, but I have no mods. So these characters all have like level 6 mods and just absolute trash. And we're beating a team that's twice our galactic power handily. Doesn't even look like we're threatened here. We haven't lost a character yet or even come close. So this is why I like this Mon Mothma team early on. And I think it'll keep me, let's say, between 50 and 100, so I can finish top 100 in squad. I don't really need to climb much further than that. I just want to get as much of the squad currency as I can for the shop, because we got a lot of characters to build out of there. So it's nice to have decent placement early on, and we'll keep building that Biggs anyway for fleet. So the team will keep getting better. We'll build Mon Mothma. And we'll also build Cassian up a little bit just because, again, he's a shop character. And we'll be able to start grabbing him at some point. In terms of fleet, I'm at number 14 in this holocron. And this guy at number 10, I've already beaten him before, so I know that I can pass him up on my way up. I've got 136,000 galactic power. I can beat most of these fleets that are around 150. The fleets that have built the Houndstooth very early, I mean, people who do that know the game. They know that that Houndstooth is a real problem in the early games. So those fleets are still hard for me to beat, even though I think when I get the Silencer to Relic level, I think the Silencer will just be able to push right through a lot of these early Houndstooth, or at least go fast enough that I'll be able to shoot a target behind Houndstooth before he can get the taunt up. Maybe kill it, stun it, you know, get some control over the match. So I feel pretty good about my chances with that team. Wedge does have the ability to put on buff immunity, so at some point we may consider adding Wedge as a reinforcement and starting to invest a little bit in him. Not exactly sure yet. We'll have to see where it goes. So there's Biggs. We're happy with him for now. We give him a spin. Again, he's one of our pilots. Him, Kylo Ren Unmasked, and Fives are getting all the gear, right? So those three pilots are going to get everything I can feed them for now. And Mon Mothma is already stuck at gear 8. She needs 2 stun guns. So she's got some pretty challenging gear tiers that we'll have to push through if we really want to commit to that team. Darth Vader also is an interesting character. You can see here we've already got him to 7 stars. We didn't buy any shards out of the shop. We just, after the hyperdrive bundle, there's a whole bunch of quest completions that you get. And just by going in there and taking a look at what the quests are, I could get all those shards. There's a bunch of quests for finishing light side and dark side sections. So all you have to do is go in and finish the last node in hard mode, sim it once, and you complete the quest. You don't even actually have to play it. We got all of the Geos unlocked and ready to go. I did take his leadership up to 7 so that I could get that 15,000 health and protection. So the Geos are started. The health and protection gives them just a ton of durability, but they have no damage because they're low stars and low gear and low level, even though they have tons of survivability from that Brood Alpha skill. I don't think at this point that they're much of a threat just because they don't have enough damage. So we'll invest in Spy over here. We'll keep trying to push his skills up and kind of make him the big man on the team, and just like we did before, and we'll relic him out for fleet and for squad and make him the big damage threat. Then it doesn't matter what damage threat you have on your other Geos, the Spy can just execute people, and things are good. Investing also in Grandmaster Yoda, but you can see there's no training droids. The training droids are completely gone. So day by day, as I get those training droids, I have to come back in and figure out the very best place to invest them. All right, we got off track on our presentation here, but let's go to the first week positives. So 1 week of play. I'm shocked at the whole game is unlocked. The ability challenges were all done with no mods. The mod challenges completed with no mods. We unlocked BB-8, R2, Vader, Palpatine, and Yoda. We can only unlock them to 5 stars because, of course, to get them past 5 stars, you need 6-star and 7-star characters, respectively, to finish that part of the quest. But all of those characters can be unlocked, and you can start leveling them up and gearing them up already at 5 stars. So Emperor Palpatine, for example, we leveled him up right away and put him in the lead for Vader. So that's already done. And we'll have to get some Rebels up to 7 stars. We're getting Biggs, Cassian. We're building that Mon Mothma team. So that'll quickly generate, let's say, 3 Rebels at 7 stars. And we'll figure out the other 2 best Rebels to put at 7 stars. We'll get Akbar, too, because he's in the capital ship. So basically after that, we just need one more Rebel to get Palpatine to 7 stars, etc. So we'll be able to take those journeys all the way in time. But being able to unlock those characters instantly, it's crazy. Vader 7 stars with no purchases. The fleet capital ships all went to 4 stars. I actually got Tarkin to 5 stars. We're top 20 in fleets, like it's easy. We're top 100 in the squad with 35k Mon Mothma team. After we put the Zeta on, it's a 39k Mon Mothma team. But just it's fascinating to me that, you know, with the hyperdrive bundle, with no crazy spending going for Revens or anything, that we're able to get this kind of performance in the first week. Negatives. The lack of training droids really was unexpected. You know, I understand the skill materials. I understand the lack of mods. I'm ready for all that. But the fact that the training droids are so scarce, and that even though I have credits to level up a bunch of characters, I actually can't level them up because I don't have training droids. That was unexpected, and that did lend me to rethinking my fleet plan, because I did plan to just jam those Geos, but with the lack of resources and how long it's going to take to get enough training droids to get 5 Geos to level 85, it's kind of like you just focus on different characters first, build a different fleet first. So that kind of inspired me to do that little filler fleet with Silencer, Biggs, and the Umbran Starfighter. So interesting stuff. Already learning stuff in the first week, but the training droid stuff was unexpected. That's going to wrap up the first week's review. You can kind of see where I'm at with my teams. We'll do more in-depth review next week. We'll be getting ready to lock into my second round of... We got a Grand Arena break this week. So at the end of the week, then we'll be preparing for our lock-in of our first full Grand Arena season. And all the way down at the bottom of Carbonite 5. And we're going to see how far we can climb in one season. It's going to be fun. Regardless of how far we get, it's going to be fun to see how far we could take it. So next week will be more of a traditional review, and we'll take a closer look at all the teams and lay out what we're doing in Grand Arena. Okay, that sums it up for this Holocron. Thank you all for watching. Remember to like, subscribe. Please leave a comment. We do have a goal to get additional subscribers in the month of January. I'm giving out prizes if we get that far, so you guys are all going to have to help me. You know, write some comments down below, get these videos some exposure on the YouTube algorithm. Try to bring more people over to the channel, especially newer players that are going to benefit from watching this stuff and be able to build a good account. Join us on the Discord. It's a fantastic group of people over there if you haven't been there. The link is in the description of the Holocron down below. Just click on that. And I really hope to see you over in the Discord. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next Holocron.